It's the first Final Destination movie in 14 years. Final Destination Bloodlines, we're going to be talking about it. But before we do, got to get into give you guys a spoiler warning, a spoiler alert. We're going to be digging deep into everything.
Can we put that into our YouTube description?
Nope, not ever. We're not doing it. Not once. Of course, I'm joined with the co-host and a crew here. Number one, it's the man, the myth, the legend, the bucket hat himself, K-Man Biscuits.
Hey.
And Lana joining us for this discussion. Alright, so I wanted to get a rundown with you guys.
We were all dying, they were dying for... Everybody was dying to make a new one for 14 years.
For 14 years, it was just... There were 5 movies in 11 years, and then it was like everyone clearly wanted to make another one. Mm-hmm. It took 14 years.
Everyone on set just kept dying. They kept trying to make a new one. That was the production story. They just kept dying.
That literally. I would love if that was actually. That'd be so insane.
We tried to make the movie, but it was real.
The movie kept the life.
They would have to pay some ungodly amount, and then they would still die.
That's why they have to keep getting no-name actors.
Maybe they'll get Ryan Johnson next time. Mark, what did you think about Final Destination Bloodlines? Out of the theater, just review and thoughts on the franchise here.
It was a blast. It was fun time. My only experience with the Final Destination movies is I've only seen 4, which is the worst one. But because I from what I heard, it was the worst one after the fact. But I enjoyed it a little bit only because it was on public access TV while I was at a plasma center, while I was donating plasma, looking at cartoons on my phone. So as a movie in the background, it was pretty decent. I'm pretty sure if I watched the whole thing for reals, I'd probably like it less. But I've always known about Final Destination movies. I never was interested in any of them, because I was never really interested to look up any movies of slashers or anything. Nowadays, I try to just see any movie that's has a good recommendation. So I'll see any slasher with a good recommendation. So is
that why you saw the B movie a couple months back?
That's making sense.
You said good recommendations. You saw a good. You want to see a good movie.
I don't know slashers.
No,
there's no slashing in B movie except for maybe Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, he gets brutal. It's a brutal situation for that guy. Yeah.
But yes.
Yes.
For B. Larry King, that's all. That's
words. Yes. Lana, what did you think?
I thought it was great. When I first came off of it. I felt like, what happened? I thought it was great.
What the
what happened?
It just,
it don't like the, I thought it was great fucking intro.
I gotta get a new camera.
Okay, we're gonna do the 3-shot from this point forward. And
okay.
we will.
Let me put it in a different USB port.
More excited. I'm not going down with this.
We're fixing
this fight.
I thought it was great. When I first saw the movie, fresh coming out the theater, I was thinking this the best movie since the first one. It's probably on equal ground, but I slept on it. Thought about it a lot last night and this morning, and it's not so great. It's definitely better than 4 and 5, 100%. Not even close, but. It's probably on par with 3 for me, about here and there. And not better than 2, not better than 1. I've seen all the movies. 4, I actually had a funny story with 4 because I can't remember that movie at all. I know for a fact I've seen it.
Funny story, what happened?
I know for a fact I've seen it. I know I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's just 4 is so forgettable. The only thing I remember is... Spoiler, the ending, the ending little twist of, this is actually a prequel, and then we're leading into the first movie.
Yeah.
That's the only part I remember. The whole movie don't remember anything. I thought I was confusing the ending part with 3. I don't remember it at all.
That's the sign of a great movie. It's you don't even remember where things happen. That's the sign.
I don't remember it at all. Movie. It's
yeah.
And 5, I remember it, but again, forgettable. Like, it's a lot of parts I just don't remember. The part I remember the most is the beginning with the race cars, and that sequence was so terrible. I could not get it out of my head.
Looking at it on public access on a plasma bed, I thought it was fine.
You're like, this was enough. This got me rolling.
I guess if you were, because here's also because it was like because this is what I found out like when like I'm gonna call it public access, but like on a like it was on like some kind of TV channel, like a free TV channel on cable or something like that.
Right.
But what I found out is like when there's like movies that play on like those like channels, like free channels, it like they like desaturate the colors and like they lower the frame rate, so it looks like I thought it was some kind of TV show. And I was like, they put a lot of budget into this, gore and budget into this TV show, and the title card came up Final Destination 4. And I'm like, oh.
This was in cinemas?
See, yeah, this was...
Yeah.
So as a TV movie, I think it's okay.
As a TV movie, yeah.
TV movie.
Final Destination 4 is a decent TV movie.
Put that on the CW, it'll be a hit.
It felt like one, so you couldn't really blame it.
Final Destination 4, the marvels of the Final Destination franchise.
Which I still haven't seen. I'm not...
Spoiler, Marvel's is better than that, at least. I'm not trying to defend Marvel's, but like, it's better than that.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it is a movie.
But I'll watch it over Eternals.
Still. These are things that I'm not putting myself in the middle of.
Yeah, I think on my end, Final Destination, what I remember is like, again, like I talked about in the intro, it's like this was a franchise that was constantly like, when you think about Final Destination, whether it was seeing it back on a TV screen like at home or seeing trailers for the next one back at that point. Because these things came out like clockwork. Again, 5 movies in 11 years, from 2000 to 2011.
Yep.
You knew you were going to get something that was thrilling or edge of your seat type of energy. And I think by the time you got to the 5th one, it's like, God, they're still making these? Like,
yes!
It was very much like the fatigue was real for the franchise. And it was like, damn, like, as exciting as it was back then, and everyone can recall 1 through 3, but like, especially 1 and 2, like, as exciting as they were, it wasn't like, it's like Pirates of the Caribbean. You got to like, Captain Jack Sparrow's like 18th movie. You're like, okay, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Like, same thing with Final Destination. So the idea of coming back to this is interesting. In fact, this was originally going to be a HBO Max movie, straight to streaming at first. Then it got pushed into becoming a...
It was?
Yes, that's how far back. It was back in 2020 they approved this. It was going to be streaming, and then it got pushed to, kind of like Mortal Kombat did.
People still have a love for this franchise, so that would have gotten a lot of hits.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, no, that would have been beneficial, but I mean, I can see why they said, wait a minute, theaters are back. Again, you make decisions in 2020, you adjust those decisions. In 2022, they made the decision to make
I'm pretty sure Legendary wish they had that choice when they released Godzilla vs. Kong.
We all do.
Yeah.
We all do, Mark. We all do. I appreciate that this was, by the way, like, in terms of laying the groundwork for this movie, this was co-directed by the same duo that made the Kim Possible live-action movie. So it's like, going in, you're thinking...
I'm gonna be fair. I haven't watched it, but it might be great. It might be fantastic.
The trailer,
I'm never gonna watch it, though. I'm never gonna watch it, though, but I'm just gonna say...
I can't believe you're about to put some shielding up for the Kim Possible live-action movie, Mark.
That movie might be like fantastic, but I'm never gonna watch it, so I don't know.
I understand.
They probably did good work.
I've heard and seen enough. I haven't watched it myself, but I've heard and seen enough. It's terrible. Same with the.
You haven't watched the whole thing yourself, so shut up.
Oh my
same with the Family Odd Parents live action shit. No,
I haven't watched those, but those are bad. Never
Stop.
mind.
That's a whole thing.
Stop it.
That's a whole thing. I think for this movie, again, for a franchise that was so tired, and then we get this new one here, 14 years after the last one, I think, you guys already know my thoughts, like, you guys know I gave you guys sort of an impression here. I literally think that, no joke, like, this was a great return to form. Like, no joke. This was like, it was clear that they were innovative here. They wanted to approach it differently.
Yeah.
I think this is probably one of the best movies in the franchise. I absolutely think this was a grand time. I enjoyed it significantly. And yeah, I have no real negatives to say about this movie.
All right, review's over. Let's go home. All right, about time.
I'm waiting.
About time he said it.
What?
He's got the shoe. It's about to drop. Come on, I'm waiting.
What? Oh, you guys believed me yesterday. No, I absolutely think this was I think this was absolutely great. I think the idea...
Oh, wait, you were lying the whole time?
Yes.
Why were you keeping the bid up?
Because you already knew my Thunderbolts take, you knew my Sinners take, you knew almost every other movie take.
Yeah.
I had to fucking fool you on one of these. And I did. It worked. For 18 hours.
Why'd you let Kevin know? That was uncalled for.
I mean, I'll tell him later, alright? I had to say, because he put a voice message. I was like, well, I can't back out now. I gotta keep pushing on this. I can't.
The cow was like, dude, you're in the minority. And I was like, no, I'm not. I put up the fucking Rotten Tomatoes for 92%. Look at it. Because who likes Final Destination?
No, you said Final Destination 6, and I was like, I didn't realize this was the 6th.
I know, because he was like, dude, I was like, dude, people like Final Destination 6. He's like, yeah, a bunch of retards. And then put the Rotten Tomatoes score with an arrow pointing down. That's a lot of retards.
What was it, 92%?
Yeah, I was like, that's a lot of retards.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I generally I want to shout out the idea of, like, again, they didn't. Again, for it being a tired franchise, I have to remind people, like, they could have played this extrely safe.
Yeah.
But again, they approached this with characters that are interesting
Okay,
enough.
sorry to cut you off. I just need to know. Do you actually like this better than Until Dawn?
Of course. Yeah, I think this is why you go to the theaters.
Do you like Until Dawn better than this?
No.
Okay.
This is why you go to theaters for this type of movie. Mm-hmm. Whereas again, we talked about Clown and Courtfield. You don't go to theaters for that. That's a waste of time.
Yeah.
This
was fun.
It was fun, but you go to a DVD player for that. That's what you go for that.
That you put in a movie theater. And you
But okay, like legitimately though, we got to talk about some of these moments. Like,
Yep.
Again, let's just jump straight in. What was your favorite death sequence, everyone? Lana, what was your favorite death sequence?
My favorite death sequence actually wasn't a death sequence.
Ooh, okay.
It was the cop out, the fake out.
It was the end credits.
No.
It was when it was over.
No. It was the fake out from the Knott brother. The
family, the one that the mother
the punker guy. Yeah, I can't remember his name. Him.
Eric.
The tattoo shop.
Yeah, the tattoo shop. That was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
His name's Eric.
What's his name?
Eric.
Eric, yeah. Eric, he was...
Eric Andre?
Yes.
I wish it was Eric Andre.
Oh, could you imagine him in the Final Destination? whoa, oh man, oh shit.
That would have been hilarious. That's basically how he was anyway.
Dude, I would either, if Eric Andre was in it, I'll be excited for him to die because it would be funny, but also I'll be mad if he dies too soon because then oh no, he's not in the rest of the movie.
No dialogue.
Right, yeah.
Not a lot of dialogue from him. He missed out. Yeah.
But I felt like that one was the most okay. So we're giving it praise right now. This is the praising section, right? But I do have some stuff to say now.
So let's death. But death right now.
Right now.
All right. Well, anyway, so that's our praise podcast. No. I was gonna start.
Hallelujah, praise the Lord.
Yeah.
But death sequence. But that's your favorite.
Yep.
Let me throw a Mark though. Mark, what was your So again, you talk about got the tattoo shop, the MRI, the vending machine. Well, MRI and vending machine, the lawnmower, the knockoff Space Needle, the grandmother being impaled, the garbage truck compactor. What was your favorite, or the train as well? What was your favorite out of these deaths? Because there were some. It was the range. It was wide ranging here, and it was great, and I enjoyed it.
Dude, that opening scene was just marvelous.
Yeah,
it was.
And of course, you know it's a fucking kid.
Yeah.
Because also they were holding because like they knew everyone was waiting for the kid to die because when the staircase collapsed, he was the one still alive.
Not lucky, but yeah,
because he was just like looking down like, damn, and he still. And then when everything falls apart up on the inside of the Space Needle, he's just like running away like with a smug like then the fucking piano lands on him like Looney Tunes.
Absolutely cool.
I feel like everyone's gonna love that character. I didn't. Like the kid.
The kid?
I
don't think anyone liked the kid.
No, like they liked him in the sense of like it's gonna be satisfying when he gets smushed or something like that, and they kept edging you until they finally got him right. I didn't like the kid from the beginning because how much based on how much of a fucking little douche he was.
Yes.
I already knew where this was going. And I'm like, they pushed him too hard because now it's taking me out of my believability in this setting up this joke, and I'm trying to be in the moment, you know, because I don't know what's happening.
Because it kept taking you out of this beautiful moment between this almost husband wife pregnant, all that situation, like that whole thing. It's very, again, they really got the time period and everything. It's like. It's very well done. Like everything about it's well done.
In the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, oh shit, this blowing up and this lady's on fire, and is she gonna save the kid? But in the back of my mind, it's like, oh yeah, we still gotta deal with this. We still gotta get this joke out the way.
Over here.
We gotta get this joke out the way. It's like, do it.
It's not like because they kept holding on it. They weren't giving it to you immediately because you were expecting that. That's a that's what I like about it because they knew you were expecting it. That is really how like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon works, where it's like Wile E. Coyote will spring an Acme trap, and you're just like waiting for it to turn on him, and like the cartoon knows that, so it just like keeps holding on. It's like it's still like because even past like when the road running even run past it, he's just like looking at it, he's like tapping it. It's like, oh, nothing's happening. He's still like, and then it explodes.
Because it had that. They did the identical effect in the tattoo shop. Same thing. You had death, literally the death figurine, just like edging ever closer, and it just kind of sat there and nothing happened. And it was like you're waiting for it, and you're waiting for it, and you're waiting for it. And I think again, like,
there's no way he was fine after that. I hate. He talking about believability.
No, I do like
the leather jacket saved him.
Yeah, it's like but I do like that. I think the movie.
That was funny though. I did like it.
Yeah, I will say again, like, because Mark, did you say your preference death? Yeah.
The first one.
The first scene, but like, I mean, another favorite of mine is like.
Well, can I get the excuse me?
No.
Yeah, I got to shout out the I got the garbage truck one's just more funny than like it was like haha you're not gonna get her, but I do like the MRI, but the tattoo shop is great because I think it does subvert. And everything about it is great. How it subverts. The lawnmower one, though, I think what's
just
great.
It's in the trailer.
It's in the trailer, but I still think that it's my favorite because the way that they're dancing around it is so smart. Because you know it's in the trailer, but you still in the scene you don't know when.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're still dancing with who's gonna chew the glass. Because you don't know who you don't get in the trailer if anyone's gonna chew the glass. But everyone has glass in their cup. Someone chews what sounds like glass. No, that's just ice. Okay. All right. Then the brother and the mother sitting there. They're talking for a second. Nothing happens. And the rake's there, and the rake gets saved. Like it's so suspenseful. You're like, Jesus fuck, who's about to get screwed up here? And you know that old guy, the one dad, is going to be killed off. But it's like, is anyone else going to be affected here? Like being on the edge of your seat to that whole thing, I think was paced very well. Alongside the daughter trying to get there in time too, it was still paced very well, even though the trailer reveals it. And I think that's for almost every one of the death scenes that are revealed. The trailers show stuff, but in the execution in the film, you're on the edge of your seat still, and I love that. So, yeah.
Like this movie is so like I only watched a recap beforehand. I've only seen 4.
Yeah.
But like thankfully, thanks to the recap, I'm able to like appreciate this movie from like a perspective of like knowing the franchise prior, because this movie is so well done with fan service. It's almost like Endgame level of how it treats its fan service. Oh, there's a gripe. But I think from what as a person who's only watched through, I'm gonna restate because Lana has a problem. As a person who's only watched a recap and 4, it looks like I'm gonna restate my statement. So she doesn't get angry. But like it looks like it does well with fan service. That death with the MRI scanner.
Yeah. What's up?
It's so there's so much in deep cuts. That death is a reference to the Final Destination 5 poster.
Really?
Once you look at it, you can see it.
Yeah.
One sec. Zoom and enhance. Is it? Isn't that just what their logos were?
No, not all of them. Every logo for every Final Destination was different. It was always a skull.
It was always a skull, but
But it was always something different.
Okay, so because when you saw the skull on his stomach, the parts of the wheelchair were popping out of the stomach, and it looks just like that. It looks just like that.
Yeah. That's why I didn't see. I was already like grossed and disgusted. I didn't even connect the dots on that because I was like, oh my.
I didn't know until it was pointed out. I was like looking something up and it was pointed out after I saw the movie.
I didn't notice either. Nope.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't into this franchise, but I found out after this year. I was like, oh my god, that is awesome. They're doing cuts that deep.
Yeah.
I think that whole sequence too. Like again, you talk about the greatness of how well they were doing subverting everyone's, I think, perceptions in terms of what's going to happen in this scene or that scene. That hospital scene is excellent because, again, they're trying to go in, save whatever. Try and do what was told to them, which is, try to die, resuscitate, and you're good.
Yeah.
And it's like, just the progression of how that goes, like you think the vending machines might crush him or whatever in the beginning, or they're tilting it, and it's like, nope, that doesn't happen. Okay, but it loosens a spring. Okay, they go to the MRI machine, but you don't know it's an MRI machine yet, and then it turns on, and then shit goes left. But like he eats the thing, and the progression's so well done. Like I thought, again, this is what Final Destination does great, and this thing did it, I think, in an alternate format that wasn't, again, just leaning on that same form of the first two, which are obviously the best.
Yeah.
Or were the best. I think this is right up there with them.
Yeah.
I do think that, again, if you're going to watch something in theaters, this is going to be there for a while.
100%.
Quick little nitpick. Like the whole.
Oh, we're at the.
Are we here? Can we finally start?
Because I still had I had another praise thing. I just wanted to say.
This is not a real one. I was just talking about that, like the cookout scene.
Yeah.
It did a close ups of everything. It looks like a lot of red herrings. It looked like everything could kill. When it did a close up of the rake under the trampoline, I was like, that rake isn't that sharp.
Hold on.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
Wait, what do you mean the rake isn't that sharp?
It didn't look that sharp. It was like the rake and the trampoline. They're gonna be fine if they hit that.
I don't know if you know how much force you're putting down when you're on a trampoline, Mark, but that shit is not light. That shit. Yeah, how about you? We'll let Mark test this theory out. You go to
I got a trampoline in the other room. Get it. I got a rake in the basement too, actually.
All right, we're gonna cut the seed. No, don't.
Ain't that bad?
But yeah, I think again, I just want to shout out again the fact that again, subverting expectations, just like in little ways, funny ways, like the daughter's figuring out like, all right, the order line, and the fact that again, the reason why they were subverted wrong is because the other family's wife slept with someone else, and that's the reason, and then it becomes a whole thing for a second, is funny as fuck. But that's a smart little thing to just surprise the audience with, like, oh fuck, she died. Like, okay, that's fucking random.
Also, another praise, classic New Line Cinema logo.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, I didn't realize until it was pointed out, but like they have a newer one, but they just because they felt like it, or probably because like this place takes place in the 60s, it's opening. They just like use the classic one.
Yeah, I think New Line being a Warner Brothers subsidiary, it's like usually they do a tie-in where it ties together with Warner Brothers, but I like that they, again, the way they approached it there, good on them on that. Yeah, again, the subversion, like you guys brought up before, the tattoo shop, fucking awesome, because that was even shown early. Mm-hmm. Like, that was shown very early on in, like, teaser material and promotional material. And it's like, oh, that sucks, but it doesn't really matter. But it was still an extra thing. And again, the Space Needle sequence is so awesome.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Shout out to the train sequence too, because it's like, nope, everyone's gonna get it.
So like, is this like the same time period as like the Fantastic Four? Is this take place in their universe?
Christ.
Totally. That's it. Yeah.
The Fantastic Four shit was on blow on arrival.
Like, this probably happened during the entire Galactus event.
You know it.
Galactus was the one after all.
That was him?
That
was just Galactus.
That is a character in the Marvel Universe. So she could just
Thanos simps for her in the comics.
So she could be the bitch behind
I'm glad they made Thanos not a simp in the regular Marvel universe.
Very last thing.
Okay.
And I think this is the biggest factor here. Is I think it shows very well the idea of, because this is just realistic, this idea of if you are really that afraid of death, if you're that anxious about it, you're going to be doing the thing that the grandmother did. You're super sheltered, and it's like you're not even experiencing life. You're just afraid of death. And I think it's a great interpretation of what actually people just do when they're nervous about anything. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna hide away from it, and then I'm just gonna box myself in like that. I think it was a great presentation of that.
Yeah, I really like that because they explored that a little bit in the second one,
right?
But they kind of just glossed over it for story, like to progress the plot. On this one, I like the fact that they really hunker down and put you in that mindset of, bitch, I've been here for like 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry. I gotta mute myself on the. I just realized my sister hasn't seen the movie, so just gonna mute us.
After all that,
yeah,
I think it's pretty late, bud.
she's probably asleep.
I mean, no, she's knocked out. She definitely asleep. I went down there earlier.
Okay.
But okay, hold on.
That's just funny. Yeah, this they haven't seen the movie we've talked about for 30 minutes.
All right, count me back in.
Did we get further in?
3, 2, 1.
So yeah, it's one thing I want to talk about. It's like, shit. What was I saying?
So you were talking about the fact that the tethering of how death kind of scares people into being sheltered.
Oh, the old lady, yeah.
Like in 2, but it was only very minutely focused on in 2. Good.
Count me back in.
Sorry, I'm just gonna say your camera. Like your camera's just gonna. We're just gonna deal with it. Like we're fine.
We're being in 3-shot for now.
Yeah, because like your camera just keeps going in and out, like logging out.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
But it keeps coming back. I don't. I'll have to troubleshoot that like later.
Yeah, but and one thing I wanted to point out, I really like the fact that they went into that mindset. Like they did a little bit of that in 2, with the woman who survived the first movie, but they kind of glossed over it for to progress the story and plot and shit.
Yeah.
But on this one, they really put you in that mindset of, nah, I've been here fighting this for like 30, 40 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Grandma, she wasn't playing around. Like,
for 20 years.
It's subverted my expectation because usually the legacy characters who survive something, they usually end up dying immediately because of outside influence from people.
Technically, but it took a little while.
No. She went out on her own terms, and.
That's right. Yeah, because she made the decision.
So wait, was she like was she just keeping herself safe, or was she aware that like
she was keeping her?
Sorry, let me finish. Like, was she just keeping herself safe, or was she aware that she was keeping the entire family safe by keeping herself safe?
She was keeping the entire family
because
safe.
Once it was the domino effect of.
Yeah, I know, but was she aware she was keeping the family safe?
Yeah, because remember she gets the notes.
Yeah,
because the daughter gets the note. The granddaughter gets the notes from the grandmother.
Yeah,
and that's the only reason why she knows that it goes down generationally like that, and that they are the last family that is still technically alive. Because
I know she already mentioned she already had cancer. She was on her way out, but like I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know, like was that out of spite or because like what she just like decided like, you know what, I'm just gonna let this start now.
Yeah. No,
No, it's just sort of her call. She was like, I will give my granddaughter this information. She doesn't want to listen to me, but like she said, all right, seeing is believing. Fuck you. All right, fuck it. I will prove to you that death is this fucking crazy. And that's
in hindsight wasn't a good idea, but we'll get there.
Well, it was like because no one was believing her. Yeah. Her own daughter didn't. And I understand. Her own daughter was like very freaked out, and her own son was very freaked out. So it was like, okay, they're not going to believe me, but my granddaughter showed up here. I'm trying to give you this information, and you showed up. So, like, clearly you wanted the info, and then you're not taking it, and I'm about to die. Fuck it then. All right.
Also, like, they could have had this. I don't know why she, like, had to let her in. She could have given her this conversation over the intercom.
No, the thing is, okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Let me just finish.
She's going to see her granddaughter.
Let me just say what I'm about to say. Like,
yeah, go for it.
She was that motherfucker really surviving. Like, she was really. Only thing she could think about was fighting death. She talked to her like every second. You ain't getting me, bitch. I got you. You ain't getting this. And she was in there like fending him off for fucking decades.
Yep.
But and this the thing. We'll talk about the ending later. But this ties into why I hate the ending so much, even though the ending was like, it was fan service, but still I hated it. Because like out of all, well, we'll talk about it, but I like that. I like the fact that she was really, they really went into the whole mental space of that whole thing.
Yeah, I thought it was a brilliant concept there. Yeah, Mark, are you about to say something? No. Okay, no, just about to again. Just that whole thing of like she created this compound, and it was just out of again protecting herself. And at first, it was probably just a family house at first. And that's probably where they were raised. The parents were raised, and then it became once they were out, then it probably became spiraling into this
crazy house. Yeah.
This crazy house, kind of like Monster House, if you think about it.
Yeah.
In that kind of way, where you've enclosed yourself and encompassed yourself into this. I thought it was just it was well done. Talking about we can talk nitpicks now. Everything good over there in the tech center, Mark?
Yeah. Because I can still deactivate and activate a camera again while it's recording. I'm just doing that real quick. Yeah.
All right. Is the audio still going while we're doing this?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So you wanted to talk about the ending, which it is like a god damn it. But tell me about what you think of. Is it the train you're talking about? What are you talking about?
The thing, everything was cool. Okay. It was a spectacle. It was like, whoa, this is so awesome. And then it was like, here's a reference, and here's another reference from an old movie, and here's the reference to the beginning of the movie, and here's a reference from 2 and 1 and 3. It's like, it was cool. And that short little sequence, like a lot of references went off, and I was in my little Memberberry moment. I was yee, and I was all happy.
Right.
But then when I got home and I actually thought about it, this
I thought my sound was off. I thought my sound was off.
This should have been the movie where at least the girl survived. The boy,
because then that would have created a trail effect of that.
Yeah,
it's like because
the
boy probably would have been the one to survive because he was the last.
One of them, I wanted both of them, but one of them surviving would have been great. The reason why is because we know it happened before.
Right.
Now we know it happened 3 times, which we'll get into, and now we know and it would have made the payoff because Grandma she went through this whole thing for like 30 years, right?
Yes.
And soon as she said, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna put my trust in you and everything, she failed. Everyone dies. She should have stayed in the house and just got taken by cancer because she could at least guarantee her family at least 10 more years.
Yeah. But no one wanted to. That's the thing is, again, death was going. That's the point. But the point was, death was reaching out anyway, right? Like, the granddaughter was getting these terrors every single night. Like, it was affecting her to the point that she could not live at all. And so, it's like, death was trying to reach that family at some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but...
And even if, let's say it didn't, that would have been perfect, but I think what the movie's point was is, the granddaughter's affected, and even if it does, again, death is trying to get to you. And that's the point.
So it's like, it's like, oh, I can't physically touch you because Grandma's still alive, but I can make you crazy.
Yeah.
And maybe, and that makes sense because maybe after a while, it'll start giving the father dreams and the other girl dreams, and then Ed might go crazy.
Right.
And would that be better than just dying?
Like the grandmother dying. Better than the grandmother dying?
No, better than the rest of the family dying. Because say a grandma was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hold off for a few more years, let cancer take me. What would happen next is maybe if death can't go kill them, would he just try to make them crazy?
Most likely.
With dreams and all this other stuff.
In the other movies, when death couldn't get to a person, did it just skip to the next person?
That's my issue. It's like when someone gets saved or someone dies, it skips to the next group of people.
Hmm.
So it's like what are we doing with these dream things? And it's like the dream thing is just bullshit made up to save themselves because they knew they wrote themselves into a corner.
Because they need a young person to come.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Because Grandma, she's done for. So how do we get this story?
How do we
going?
make this battle-hardened grandmother who knows that death's around? How do we make her vulnerable?
Yeah.
Well, we need the granddaughter
Grandbaby.
to actually push
Yeah.
the plot along. And I understand that, but I think that if you've been locked up in your house forever, and also you're like, I'm protecting everyone, and they're not even. It's like what is it? The Atlas story.
Yeah.
Literally the story of Atlas, where he's holding up the world forever and
Right.
ever and ever. He's just sitting there. He's holding up the weight of all this, and no one's like thankful for it. And the granddaughter shows up, and she's like telling her all this stuff, and she's like, fuck you. I don't need your fucking info.
Damn, you are
I'm
crazy.
gonna figure this out on my own, Grandma. I don't need this. And then Grandma's like, fuck it. You do not get
Yeah.
how fucking wild it will get. So you know what? Like she says, she just straight up says it. You see it in her eyes. Seeing is believing. She steps back. 30 seconds later, ta-da, boom. And you just started the circle because you just did. I just wanted to give you my book. That's all the fuck I wanted.
Yeah.
Give me the book. That's it. You didn't even take the fucking book. That's all I wanted you to have. My life's work. I'm about to fucking.
And now you're just as crazy as me. Yeah.
And she's just crazy. But yeah, like it's that's my thing.
And by the way, you say like you didn't like the way it ended. I can show you a clip of the ending scene.
Is that what you looked up? I was like, why is Mark on his phone? One sec. Here we go. What do you got?
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Oh shit.
What the fuck is this?
What?
Boo! Boo! You come.
There you go. That's the end. Tell me that's not the end of the movie.
Kinda, yeah.
That's what I was thinking about. That's the end of the movie right there. Sonic was next in line.
But
I thought they were gonna be a little wittier with that ending too. That's
the ending
because it was so in your face and it was so quick. Like they were like, all right, we only have about 3 minutes left to run time.
So they decided to put it all on
the train. Yes, like I thought it was gonna be maybe a part of the train hits something, flies up, like not the train flying up and everything. Like, well, not.
I was when he get me off camera.
Yeah, I was like, he's dancing. He's dancing. But I thought like the train wasn't gonna maybe the train would derail, but not like that. Not like a fucking 2001 action movie.
Dude, that was Sonic Adventure 2 right there.
Hold on. Now at the beginning the whole setup was smart as fuck. Because it was the same penny that started the fucking movie that was about to end the movie. And I was getting hyped. I was like, oh, what are they gonna do with this penny? Like, the penny is the main boss of the whole story.
Literally. It's like Mr. Krabs' penny.
So the setup was great. We had the penny, we had an old ass lady who was around that time. Then we had a child who another little boy, matter of fact, mind you, that dropped the penny on the ground.
Right.
Then the penny flew into the same.
It wasn't a little girl at the lemonade stand. What was it?
It was two kids. It was a little boy and a little girl that was together.
Right.
And she tried to hand the money to a little boy. The little boy dropped the penny.
It drops. It rolls.
And it rolls and it gets into the same train tracks that was in the beginning of the movie that the first couple went over, right? And I was like, oh, they're doing everything. Then the little girl come out of her house with the prom dress. It was the same fucking dress.
On the same street, by the way, that they drive down.
Yes. Yeah. The same dress that grandma was wearing at the time.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. Then you fuck it up. Because when the train...
Wait, hold on. That wasn't the penny's last death, though.
What?
Yeah, because the penny was rolling across the end credits, and I was just excited, oh my god, who's the penny's next victim? And it keeps rolling, and then it fades to black, and it says R.I.P. Tony Todd, and I'm like, not him!
That's real. That is real.
Again, and we haven't acknowledged it. But he had such a great voice, but then he also owned those scenes, like those gravitas, just in those 2 minutes that he was in.
And me and Mark was talking about how freaky it was now that all the family is dead. Because he literally said this in the movie, once y'all gone, is I'm next, that's it.
Yeah.
And so he went to go he went on vacation to enjoy the little bit of time he had left, and the family died,
But he's literally dead.
and now he's literally dead.
Yeah. It's
like, whoa, that's crazy.
It's trippy. It's trippy.
That is freaking crazy. But
And the post-credit scenes director like, you're next.
You're pointing at all the audience like an asshole.
Jesus. But no, but
back to the
train.
I do agree. Like
So
once that becomes a maddening, ridiculous,
Yeah, it was
cheesy, over the top, like, come on. Like,
and then the log truck came out of nowhere and threw logs on them. What's going on?
Yeah, because it went.
Okay, the log truck just like it can't, because we already got the reference earlier.
It wasn't
the log truck was
it
needless.
was part of the train. It was another car on the
The log train.
I know, but it was like a needless. Like we already got the reference earlier. Why did you have to add logs?
It was very needless.
Because like that ending shot was just messy.
Yeah.
As much
It was like how much CGI budget do we have?
We throwing this
$3.
$3.
Yeah, because as much as I love this movie and like it was good the whole way, it's just that last shot was so fucking messy. Just like CG train everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Well, they also didn't frame it well with the actors either, because the granddaughter's running away and she trips and she falls, and like the way that they frame the CGI is like she's already under the train.
Yeah.
But then like she's still in front of the train the next scene. It's like, you guys could just, why did you even make this? Who fucking approved this?
Oh, like, because I know I made a joke dozens of times, but like, it literally looks like Sonic Generations. Like, it looks like in-game footage of Sonic Generations, like gun truck. It looks just like that.
Yeah,
It did look bad. I think, again, like, if they had just gone simple, like, again, something as simple as, like, okay, yeah, the train kind of derails, but it derails like a couple blocks away from where they are, and like something hits something, and then something, and it's maybe it's just a gutter pops off the top of a house and it just hits their head.
Yep.
Boom. That's all. I don't need a fucking train.
We didn't need to see it. We didn't need to see it because they've done this like 3 times for all 3 movies. The first 3 movies, the ending is always, oh no, someone's gonna die at the last frame.
They just kill everyone.
But like they do all the setup, right?
Yeah.
But then they black screen it, and all you hear is just sounds. That's what this movie. They didn't need to show the last part. Like, I would have been so happy as soon as you saw the train coming, approaching the penny, and then black. You get it.
Because also it's going to impact a ton of people anyway.
Yes.
The other actor I want to shout out is the guy that's usually like, the dad in this movie. He's usually a mad scientist in Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. This is the first normal role that I've seen him in a while.
Yeah.
It's like, shout out to him for getting a role that's not like a fucking mad scientist and he's just a normal dad.
Yeah.
But is he alive still, or did he get killed in that too? I don't know.
No, he's.
I don't remember if he gets killed by the train or not.
No, he's. Damn, did he get killed by the train?
Because I think
because the train just
everything. That's what I'm saying.
Literally everything
got like slaughtered, and even the main characters.
Yeah.
So I think that he also dies. I was gonna say, because there's no way he's the only one left.
Here's another nitpick. I really like. I'm thinking back. I noticed about the movie.
Yeah.
And ironically, the first nitpick is it had to do with my favorite scene, the tattoo parlor, right?
Yeah.
So it was a very cool scene. Everything was set up nice. It's classic
Wicked.
Final Destination.
Absolutely.
Wicked.
But it was pointless.
But that's that was
like Death never operated this way before. It never needlessly went out of its way to target someone not on the list. Like, and if well, that's not true. Unless the person is in the way,
and I think
like is directly in the way of the target. He was by himself in the parlor shop, and it was revealed almost immediately after this that he wasn't even part of it at all.
Like, here's the thing, Lana, here's the thing to consider. It probably wasn't Dev. It's probably literally just a freak coincidence.
Impossible. The way those series of events happened.
Yeah, that was Final Destination.
Nowhere.
It was just like it was just super coincidence. That was it. Super coincidence.
So I'm with you on the idea. Like, it can't be. But I do think of and again, I don't want to pull like, Martin, if you watch this, I don't want to pull a Martin where I'm giving you a bunch of lore canon that's not in the movie.
Stupid Martin.
Jesus.
I'm glad that guy's not here.
But it's one of those situations where, again, you could say you are still in approximation of the family. You are literally there. You were not believing it earlier, but you kind of are like in the vicinity of the family itself. Like, and also again, as weird as it is, and as unconnected as it is, really, I do have to shout out the fact that again, it's a great subversion, and it also adds another kind of death sequence, and I like it. Like, it's the fact that I still got something out of it.
Actually, no, Lana, here's another theory. So you know how they made the mistake of they thought it was Erica was next, it was actually the girl.
Yeah.
Maybe Death made that same mistake. Like, all right, let me get this bitch. All right, and then he read his papers like, oh crap, okay, it's not okay. You get to live. All right, it's not you. But don't get in my way, or else I will kill you for real.
Now don't get me wrong. You're right. Because this happened even in the first movie. All the people around the characters, they have gotten killed before. Like for example, it was a target in a drive-through. Yes, right, exactly. And a big truck comes barreling down towards them and then take out multiple people. That's normal. Yeah. My issue is this was an isolated event,
centralized.
Like it didn't make no sense because he was miles away from his family.
Front door open.
And I think he says about it.
He should call me first. She's probably just going outside real quick.
He was miles away from his family, inside of a building by himself. So it was like, I'm like, what are we doing? It's like I knew that he wasn't gonna be dead. I felt like he escaped because this happened too. Some targets have escaped by themselves. They don't need help.
Yeah.
But I didn't think he was dead. But I didn't think that he was not going to be on the list. Like that part didn't really make sense to me. Like I just thought okay, he escaped this time, but next time it's gonna get him. Yeah. And then next time it did get him, kind of, but he still wasn't.
No, because the next time would have been the garbage truck where he would have probably gotten run over or tripped over the wheel or something.
No, but the next time was the MRI. Remember?
No, but before that, technically, if the next time would have been the next time, because the daughter was up next, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like the next time, if he was in approximation of someone that was going to die, then it would have been the garbage truck, not the one that zoomed by, but when he's around it and he doesn't the wheel doesn't hit him and then he gets caught and he's rolling around. Like that doesn't happen either. It doesn't happen until the hospital, so he really does not get killed until later.
Yeah.
I'm with you. It was kind of like that's wacky in the grand Final Destination lore concept, but I still again, it's more that it allows us not to get caught up in because I think what was it? I think there was a review. I saw a review of 5 where it's there were long periods of just dialogue instead of sequences, and this has a good balance of you get dialogue and you get sequences, and it's sequence.
Now, speaking of dialogue, here's one little unofficial nitpick.
Breaking news.
So.
Front door closed.
In the lore, it's speculation, but it's been it's like mass consensus because there's no other way. So Tony Todd, right? He's been here since the first movie,
right?
And his character has always known everything, literally everything. He always knew all of the characters' names before they even walk in the room, before anybody even said anything,
right?
So each movie he's in, he always drops new lore, new ways to fight it, new ways to beat it, and we finally get an explanation for that. But the explanation is not what we the fans, not even close to what we the fans were speculating. Because the only way that this would make sense is
You're talking about what he said.
No, him himself. Oh. What is he? How did he know all these things? Is he a psychic?
I think he just gets visions because he was talking to the daughter. He was talking to the daughter. He was talking to the granddaughter.
Yeah,
and he's talking about that too.
So up until this point, up until this movie, it was always speculated that he was an angel.
An angel?
And he was an angel because it never made sense for Death to give out clues, right? So this is another thing that this movie doesn't do. It doesn't give out clues like that. But in the other movies, there was always a line of clues set out for for the character to see.
Well, the only time
one.
The only time you see that is the tower. It's the only clue, and the clue is that the boy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh no, the other clue is like the picture frame falling, and you get the glass.
The glass, yeah.
The glass.
It was like it wasn't that many though. But in the other movies, there was a clue for each and every death, and our characters will have to. It would be laid out just like a traps.
Right.
But instead of being traps, it's like good stuff. Like, this is going to happen at this place with this person. It was literally telling you, go save your friend.
Right.
So, as these movies went on, it never made sense for, like, why would Death, if Death going to kill you so bad, why would he leave all these clues for you to save yourself? That don't make no sense.
Right.
So, the speculation was, it was either Tony Todd is an angel, or Tony Todd is some type of, like, supernatural psychic medium, and he's manipulating fate and something. And it was always some type of grandiose thing. But now that it's revealed that he's just some dude that survived the very first attack, it kind of loses all his luster.
I could see that, yeah.
It kind of loses all his luster.
It's like, oh,
He can still be that. We just
but
he
has
an origin this
it
time.
does bring it down a little.
Yeah.
Like,
He's not some god or some supernatural being. He's just a dude.
because you could have still had Tony Todd in here without him being the one boy that survived. That other boy that survived could have just been a random guy, and then like the grandmother shows, that boy dies late. That boy already died too. Like
Yeah. And it still didn't make sense how they tried to make it seem like, oh, he just know all this stuff because he the boy that survived. Mm-hmm. Because he always knew all the characters' names. Now the grandma, it makes sense because
but I think he's also researching as much as, because again he said they shared notes. I think that they were.
But but they go confront Tony Todd.
Yeah.
In the middle of these things happen. There's no way that these events are happening with characters and they're getting published and on the news fast enough for Tony Todd to be like, oh, these are the characters and I know them, I know what they're here for. And then
I think he gets visions.
He himself gets visions.
Yeah, again, it's still speculable.
I still think
So like it still leaves room for speculation.
Right.
So I think it's fine.
I think it's all through visions and all that. And which would still be the angel theory, but I think again, him being the one that survives.
Yeah, he just
it is like a little like, come on, but like for his character, it's cool, but also unnecessary.
And
it's
a weird they were being douchebags because you know back in the day, they didn't know what to do. They didn't have 6 planned out in advance, obviously. So
Bloodlines was barely planned. I mean, planned out at all.
What I'm saying is they made Tony Todd mysterious on purpose back in the day,
right?
Like because now that we know that he was just the dude that survived, now it made me go back in my mind like, why on 1, 2, or 3
does break a lot.
He didn't just say, bro, do this and this and this, because I know, like, I was like, what?
Because I've been working with this old lady, and we also came together, and we have notes.
Now make Tony Todd feel like a fucking douchebag, because he knew exactly what was going on, and he knew exactly what people had to do to save themselves, or save their family, and he just being a fucking...
This reminds me of, This reminds me of how Ghostbusters Afterlife, it brought back the old cast, but it was like done in a way that wasn't, it didn't align necessarily with the way that would have made sense, so it feels like it fucks up. It's like if you're not a fan of Ghostbusters, you're looking at that like,
they bring back, I forgot, one of the dead guys as the ghost.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, this is nice, but then if you actually know, you're like, like he is, it's like
I can't remember the word right now. What's the word for being fucking what's the word for like speaking in riddles around the actual answer?
Metaphors? I don't know.
I'm trying to think.
Today on Jeopardy.
Would
you like to buy a vowel?
But Tony Todd knew the exact answers, and he would always speak in riddles and poems
instead of just
giving you the answer. Like
anagrams, I don't know.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Like, it's crazy.
I do like that con. This
Well,
was
like I think like
Mark.
I feel like they
Go ahead.
Oh,
You're good.
I feel like they had to give him a story because it's like well, he knows he's about to die, so like this is the only chance. If we're gonna give the audience answers, this is our only chance.
This is the only chance, yeah.
So let's just give him a story and let's give him an ending.
I mean, and also, yeah, like
Because you can't do it later.
They probably shouldn't have said, again, if they didn't tether him to the old lady at all, and he still said the lines that he said in this movie, it would have been fine. I think it's just the tethering to this really, and also saying that he worked with her, so then that would have been, it kind of affects it a little. Final thoughts on this movie here?
I already talked about all my nitpicks.
Cool.
Fun time.
Yeah. It was good. It was good.
Like sadly, the sad part is it has, we saw this in 4DX. It has like all gimmick showings like Dolby, IMAX, 4DX. I only had those for 1 week because like it can't, like, this movie's release date was a week before both Final Destination and Lilo and Stitch, and it loses all those gimmicks.
Yeah. Oh, here's one little minor nitpick that I know the community, especially on Reddit, is going to point out. But it's not a nitpick for me. I like that because it makes more sense. Mm-hmm. See, now in the earlier movies, one of the big jokes that came out from the fans is, why would Death do all this? Why would Death put a little penny and then make it fall down and then do all this and I would give you cancer or something? Yeah. And in this movie he actually did it. Yeah. He was like, you know what, bitch, cancer.
Exactly.
And he did it twice. It's like why it took us like 6 movies to do this? Some people might now. A reason why I say it is a nitpick for the fandom is because that's what we're here for. We're here for the convoluted, overdramatic death sequences, right?
Of course.
And unfortunately, now I like death sequences in this movie because they're quick and fast. Boom, kill that bitch. Like why are we taking all this time to kill someone? That never makes sense to me. But some people like the how complicated. It's like a rule. It's like a
there's a lore book of how precise and how structured.
Imagine we got like a scene of that, like the Rube Goldberg machine for of her for her, but like it's just like a ball rolls into like a stick, the stick falls down, and like it just like somehow opens like the sunlight. And like the sun shines on her, and it just like cuts her in the doctor's office. You have cancer.
Now this,
it doesn't lead to a death. It just leads to cancer.
Yeah. Now I will warn you, like if you are like a long time fan of the movies, and you're going into this movie expecting like one of those like huge complicated sequences, this movie don't have that.
I think it does. It
has setup, but. It's not the way 1 and 2 and 3 were. They were like
they were more precise. But I think we get.
It's still. I think it still does the gimmick correctly.
You can count the hospital sequence as, I think, step by step by step by step by step, and it does that. Like
I think the
steps, but and obviously the tower is
the cookout sequence is there too.
But here's the thing though. It's not about the length. It's about how complex the thought process is,
right?
Because the sequence with the hospital part was cool and all, but it all depended on how stupid the characters are.
Yeah.
So it didn't really have much thinking to it. Like I think
I think you could for the writers.
The only thing that happened was turn the MRI machine on, and then hopefully the characters be dumb enough to realize, oh wait, I'm dying. Maybe I'll just stand here more, knowing this in a room by myself. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the way they kill people on the old movies, they trapped them.
They were still right.
They trapped the shit. Like there was no way out. You could not outthink this thing.
Right.
Like you were stuck. And then even when the person survived, they still got him later.
Well, with that being said, I still don't think the kills here are weak. These are very
No, they're not,
satisfying kills.
They're not weak, but I can definitely see the perspective of like, yeah, like this is a perfect example of like it's not a reboot, but it's like Jurassic World to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It was a fun time.
It was a fun time.
It's a fun time, and it has the soul of Final Destination, and I think it's as good.
Yeah.
It's as good to me as 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It's just not, like you said, as complicated in its depth,
not complex
as 1 and 2, but it's fun as hell, and it's got you on the edge of your seat the whole time, and it's brutal, and it's awesome, and it subverts you, by the way. So you're still kind of sitting there by the end of the movie like, oh my god, this whole fucking thing's loopy as hell.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, like I have to give that a shout out. Like this was a great time, especially after seeing Colin McCornfield. I mean, Colin McCornfield can go
free meme idea. Free meme idea for anybody who wants to take it. Take the first scene in Toy Story where take the scene in the first Toy Story where Woody in frustration throws the magic 8-ball and it starts all that like Rube Goldberg stuff to like get buzz out the window. Just put the caption over it, Fountain Destination.
I thought you were gonna say take that long unnecessary ass opening Lion King scene and then somehow connect that to Final Destination.
Yeah, it's definitely not as complex, but it's still a really fucking good time. Now the only thing I just thought about this. The only thing that I didn't really care about, it's not a nitpick. I just didn't really care about. I didn't care about the characters' relationships to each other, like the mom, the dad, like that whole little like that side story about like the divorce and all that. I didn't really care about that shit. It was like
the only one I cared about was Eric and the brother.
Yeah, Eric was awesome. Yeah, I love Eric. He's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, something disappointing. A disappointing death that was disappointing was like the little brother. Earlier in the movie, he said he had a dream where he got eaten by a hot dog. And like that's foreshadowing. I don't know how they're gonna pull it off. I want to see how they do it. And he didn't. He just died to a truck. To the train.
He did get consumed by a giant log, which is hot dog shaped.
No, that's far. It should have been like a hot dog statue, or like his body flew. Yeah, his body flew into like a hot dog.
Or a train car full of pigs, just kind of and he gets crunched by the.
I want them to somehow have him get like destroyed by a giant hot dog or something. It should have been like a wiener. It should have been the Oscar Mayer, like the fake Oscar Mayer, like a parody Oscar Mayer wiener truck.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Now
I'm with you, Mark.
Here's a bit more praise though. These movies are here's a bit more praise. Now these movies are usually played straight all the way up until 4 and 5. 4 and 5 was just wacky. But these movies are usually played straight. So I was surprised with this movie. It had a good level, a good amount of humor in it. Like I was literally laughing at stuff.
Oh yeah.
And that never really happened in the old movies. Like those movies weren't supposed to be funny. It's like, oh shit, really?
Look, the guy said to keep you alive, you have to take a life. And they both look at the baby and like
again, but like legit though. Like come on, like I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
I'm like, the movie's not gonna do it, but
so
right there.
Also, when I was because I was thinking like that's almost the same rules as the Smile movies.
Yeah,
because the Smile movies is like to get rid of the curse, you have to kill someone. Well, to kill someone in front of somebody.
Yeah.
To get rid of it. So it's like, oh, that's kind of similar way, or else it just goes after you, because that's almost kind of similar.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's hilarious too. So we're good.
Smile made a lot of money.
No, it did.
And that cliffhanger was so good. I'm excited for that.
I never understood. Like starting on this little tangent, but I never understood because the first one people loved it, and the second one people loved even more. And both of the movies, I don't like them.
Oh, you saw Smile 2?
I saw Smile 2, yeah.
I saw the trailer.
I thought 2 was fun. I'm not extreme about it, but like I thought both Smile went into were fun movies.
The premise looks fucking stupid.
It is. That's what's fun about it.
So I was like, I'll pass.
That's what's fun about it.
This shit looks hilariously goofy. But in a stupid way, so I'll pass on that.
Yeah, those movies.
But it did give me the heebie-jeebies. It did awesome. It's mostly the way like you just, like people like you just get illusions. Like the curse is pretty like creepy. You just get illusions of people like just forming and just appear in front of you with a creepy smile, like that looks silly from the trailer. The way the movie's actually shot, like that would scare the shit out of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like imagine if like you died and then like I just see your ghost just like down the hallway like
and I
would scare the fuck piss out of me.
I get it. Like the smile the smile monster have to weaken your mental state so it can get you to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Well, it could get you to give up easier when it takes over you, then you kill yourself. I get it, but it was like, I don't like all this illusionary stuff is just like so.
The only thing I didn't like about Smile 2 was like, I'm just going to go into a quick spoiler, but like, I know you don't care, Brian, but like, the whole most like more than half the movie was just an illusion.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, more than half the movie was just an illusion by this.
No, and fuck you, I hated that.
Me too. I didn't like it.
The whole movie, well.
I like what the ending. I like what the ending leads to. It gets me excited for like the third one.
Lego movie.
But I like what the ending leads to, and it gets me excited for the third one. But I don't like the fact that like more than half the movie was just an illusion.
It was just fake.
That's beautiful.
I'm like, what the hell am I watching? It's those. I'd rather watch the fucking. What was that movie about the imaginary door in her attic? I'd rather watch that.
Imaginary?
Yeah, I think
it literally called Imaginary.
Yeah, I'd rather watch that.
I heard that sucked.
I had more fun watching that shit than the fucking Smile 2.
Right.
I enjoyed Smile 2 up until like I found out like what that ending implies. I did like the ending itself because she killed herself in front of an audience of people, and that means everybody got it.
Everybody's dead now, yeah.
Alright, I think we've wrapped
But yeah,
up our
that's
Final
it.
Destination.
This is our Smile 2. So this is our Smile 2
We're
podcast.
rolling in this fucking smile. I was like waiting. I was trying to find my way to just kind of. All right.
Because Brian caught the ick. He caught the smile. Like
Smile ick.
Smile on it.
All right, guys. But you can. Thanks for watching. Obviously, all information is going to be down in the description or on the screen. Thank you for watching. Find Market K9 Biscuits. Find Lana.
Instagram, Lana Boo.
Lana Boo. Was the Lana Boo like what 61 or 2?
No, that's it.
This is Lana Boo. Brian the Baltimore. Thanks for watching.